Divine beings, beautiful family of light. I'm Geeia Ariati. You may know of me as the Oracle for the 144. However, I'd like to introduce myself in a different way. I am the founder and the co-creator of the DAC process. The DAC process is a complete healing to the fragmented mind. It returns all soul aspects so that you can transcend, purify, and come into pure presence. It is a modality that works in the Trinity and helps humanity to transform suffering into living in a divine alignment. Now, I am also a master teacher for the purity of Isis and a high priestess or a goddess in form. And these are my two primary focuses. In relation to this, I also, with my beautiful beloved, which you may or may not have seen, heard, or experienced through some of these different videos and expressions, is that we have a community called Bring the New Earth Tribe. So if you followed me for a while, you would be aware that I come on and I speak transmissions and I do a lot of energy forecasts and I share around some concepts that are a little bit more challenging and assist with direct channels and information, do some quantum healing and provide tools in the way that has been able to assist many of the bringers of change, the 144, to activate and remember. Now, this directive for me was very much given at a time of assisting through the tipping point of consciousness. Now, the tipping point of consciousness has been effectively complete. That completed on the 14th of November, or the follow over from the 1111 portal. Now, we are in the next 42,000 year cycle for the Earth, and what was being shared as content on this channel is no longer relevant in this space. There is a few reasons for that. The reason that I was called forth to share some of the things that I did was to start to awaken and activate and accelerate this tipping point of consciousness. This shift has a direct correlation to that of the North and South Pole shift. The North and South Pole shift is where the Earth catches up to the tipping point of consciousness, and we move into a new evolution of how the humanity exists on the planet. Now, some people may consider this pole shift to be a expression of natural evolution, in which it is, and that it is also a transformation of the Earth's structure to support the Great Awakening and the two realities. If some of this is new information for you, it may awaken different thought forms and different feelings within you. But the important piece here for me is that I am now limited to what I can share here on YouTube. The reason being that a lot of the content that I speak to and a lot of the content that is coming forth, if I speak on a platform such as YouTube, YouTube is uh, a, I have to be very careful with my words. YouTube is a platform that is held in ownership by that of what we may consider old earth structures and old paradigms. If I violate their terms and conditions, my opportunity to speak to you, my ability to communicate to those that are transitioning from old earth to new earth, my ability to reach those that are new earthers that are around the world could possibly be shut down. And once that happens, there is big struggles and challenges opening new platforms on our current social media forums. So if I was to violate not just an ethereal but a physical terms and conditions, and to make sense of that, there is a treaty which I have signed. I have signed the New Earth Treaty, which is the New World Order, and with that, there is a necessity for me to ensure that every word that I speak, I am in integrity, to ensuring that sovereignty is remained in all avenues and all paradigms that currently exist. Now, with that, it means that I can speak to and will only speak to sensitive topics for those that are ready to receive these topics in a private community where censorship is not a challenge, where I will not effectively be speaking out of turn, and where my communication is met with the receptivity for those that are ready to hear it. So the Bring the New Earth tribe is a community for those of leaders and beings that know that they're here to merge spirit to matter in a new foundations of systems for those of us that are bringing in a new paradigm, utopia, reality, heaven on earth forward. That community holds a lot of different transmissions. So before now, I've done a lot of transmissions on YouTube. I've done a lot of energy updates in the Bring the New Earth tribe. We do an energy update every day. We talk about different archetypes. We talk about different structures of the psyche. We help to navigate. We give tools on how to channel properly, how to connect with intuitive guidance, how to reconcile fragments. So the things that are more in depth and require a specific level of receptivity will be in that space, as well as it's a little bit more safe and secure. And that way I can use this platform to assist in the ways that spirit and source is guiding me to bring forth. So with that, it is a little bit of challenge in the form of I'm just going to block a user. I do need a mediator, a moderator. So what we are going to do is just ensure that this place is clean, clear, right? So with that, there is an awareness that I am a being that speaks truth. I come here and I share to awaken the mind. My purpose is to activate the remembrance of who you truly are. In that, I attract a lot of different energies that may not have the same intention as me. Now, that means that we need to work with the structures that already exist and the capacity and the ability to keep everyone safe and in sovereign free will and choice. So this new earth paradigm means that those that are choosing the paradigms of the patriarchal constructs, control, dissension, separation, can still do that, because every soul on this planet has an opportunity to choose their life experience. And who am I to say that choosing from a level of unity, truth, or the middle way of the heart, neither dissension nor ascension, is the way? The way that I choose is through the law of one. It's through the teachings of the Emerald Order. It is through an expression of bringing reality in the form of transcending polarization and duality and living in pure presence where suffering no longer exists. Because while we still live in polarization, and many of us want to develop our soul in that way, and there is nothing wrong with that. So if one wants to choose polarity, they will choose the old earth paradigms where patriarchal constructs provide a contrast to the light, and light and dark continue to battle it out in the spiritual warfare and the different paradigms that exist. For those that want to choose a new reality, to choose one where there is more community, connection, advancements in technology, and medical expressions, then medical expressions, then what will happen is that there is we're also in Mercury retrograde, I believe, still, which means there's many paradigms that are moving through the quantum field. So we're just going to clear that energy, because can you feel that? I just would love to invite you to feel the frequency of we call them trollers, but they're more than trollers. They're more than someone that's coming in to cause disruption. If you feel that frequency is of the agenda. That frequency you might be feeling it, it's in the throat, it's in the high heart, it's in the heart space. That energy that is coming through, which is why I often don't do lives. I often pre-record and then I gift it. But sometimes Source guides me to come on live so that I can share a message in relation to what is in the present energy field. Now, that means that we're looking at the 1212 portal. This energy here is attacking the throat chakra, which is the collective energy that is activating at the moment, which is about speaking truth, speaking sovereignty, allowing the voice to be shared, about expressing from your soul. There is a level of activation that's taking place in the throat chakra in relation to what have I come to know in embodied wisdom, and how do I share this in the world in integrity while still respecting other beings. And that is a challenging thing to do. When we learn to speak our truth, a lot of beings have distorted concepts where they believe that by speaking truth means wronging another's way. And so the very expression of what I'm sharing in this moment is that I need to be very careful around speaking truth, because I can no longer say that my way is the right way, because it's not. My way is a way to remember source. Just like descending is a way to remember source, and so is ascending. Very different experiential learnings as a soul, as a human being. Now, for me to share this, I'm giving choice. When you choose truth, what happens is you choose sovereignty, you choose freedom. That expression of truth is remembered in your cellular structures and your molecules. The molecules that resonate in vibration to your soul's decision of, I actually want to choose an experiential learning of truthful human expression, that will vibrate and you'll feel it. But however, it also activates those that don't want to hear it. It activates those that want to shut me down. It activates those that are in contrast because their intention or their human experience is different. And so in this kind of forum, it is an open platform. I can put my energetic boundaries up, I can put protection fields up, but I am still using a forum or a platform that is at the effect in an energetic vibrational resonance in its frameworks and structures that is an old earth framework. That means that it naturally, by its creation being that of YouTube, will attract energies that are not my truth, that are not the inner guided divine source truth. And it's something that I need to accept. If I'm here to share with you a message in a live expression, then I need to be willing to receive and place the necessary precautions around to ensure your safety, my safety, and that the message is clear. Yet knowing that everything like this is an opportunity to teach, to guide, to remember the law of one, and to be in integrity with my own mission and purpose. So with that, we feel through at the moment, there is a lot of objection energy. And we are in a portal of the 1212, which is around remembrance. Now, remembrance has a very uneducated expression of what that actually is. So remembrance for individuals is you came here to remember who you truly are, but it's not learning. So remembrance is you've already developed these skills. You already know this aspect of yourself. You already have these gifts. You've already mastered them in other time, space, dimensions, realities, past lives. So remembering, when you come to remembrance, you actually come to a place of arrival. There is an energy of, I know thyself. I know who I am. I've remembered who I am and why I'm here. Now, all of those pieces, puzzles, expressions, or cognitive awareness may not be sitting there, but remembrance is the reconciliation of forgetting or amnesia consciousness, which is what a lot of the human experience is functioning off, is the forgetfulness and the amnesia that has been created through different technologies, through our different dimensional realities. This portal being that of the 1212 portal and the energy opportunity that is here is that new life is available when we remember. While we live in forgetfulness, unconsciousness, whilst we have an aspect of ourselves that is denied or disconnected from, we cannot live from new life. So, new life is only available when we choose to be all of the energies that we are cultivating, right? And we'll have different cultivation expressions at different initiation stages or different development phases, different points of self-education, and different arrival moments. There is many, many, many awakenings. There is many, many, many different points of remembering, because each stage, if you see it as a bandwidth of consciousness, is it has a baseline and it has a point of its highest capacity. And in between there is all of this information, all of this data. And this data that is being remembered has past lives and a memory here and a personality type here, and it might have coding over here. And it has this karmic reconciliation and this soul connection and this relationship. And in that bandwidth, there is so much data. Now, you can sit in this bandwidth for as long as you like. You could sit in this one bandwidth for your entire life. And that would be what you would call coming into a place of arrival, peace, remembrance, transcendence, because you are transcending the other realities and you functioning from the wholeness of this reality, this perspective. When you come to any point of arrival in remembering, and that allows for the new life, because what was forgotten and what was sitting in unaccessed data can now was creating your life. You are creating your life from the unconscious pieces to show yourself, to reconcile, to come into a greater perspective lens of what you're bringing forward. Without the remembering, we will continue to try and understand ourselves through contrast. We will still continue to try and understand ourselves through some polarizing expression or mirroring. Now, it is not that the new earth is void of this, because earth is built on polarization, or light and dark, or spirit and matter, or the understanding of frequency in these forms that allowed us to have a physical, human, separate experience. Without polarity in this reality, we are unable to be separate. I am not me and you are not you. We would be one. We would be one energy consciousness without form. I would not be able to eat, drink, dance, play, have sex, all of those amazing, wonderful things that humaning allows for. So separation is not the wrongness. Separation is the gift. Separation can only happen through duality and polarity. But the new earth is understanding that polarity is the gift, understanding the concept of transcending light and dark so that you're not controlled by light and dark. Not the old earth structures hold light and dark paradigms, which say you are either this or you are either that, and you are unable to allow yourself sovereignty and freedom. So, with this portal that is awakened and activated today, there is this opportunity for you to remember. And to do this, you don't need to go and create, seek, search, or come to anything. The thing about remembrance is it sits within the center of your being. It sits within every cell of your expression. It sits in the choice to release the separation point. So remembrance means that you don't need to understand. You don't need to release the karma. You don't need to dissect the intellectual understandings of the quantum fabric of the universe. That all that is required is for you to take a moment to sit in some form of calm, peace, meditative practice and ask to remember. Ask for your remembrance without the division point, and hand over through visualization, through words of affirmation, through intention, the separation point, being that of forgetfulness, amnesia, and unconsciousness. And if you sit there with this power of intention, if you sit there with this strength within you and this declaration of desire, then that will occur. The power of the conscious mind is far more powerful than any other aspect of mind. Your conscious mind is the most powerful interpretation. You here as a human being is more powerful than your higher self, your monetic self, your galactic self, your goddess self. Wherever you are as a human in full vibrational resonance to presence, you are the most powerful expression of technology in this reality, in this galaxy. So this galaxy, human species, in remembrance of their conscious present self, will change the entire creation space. And that is how we're building the new earth. We're remembering that it is not that the humans are entrapped or enslaved. It's that they are more powerful than any of the Anunnaki, than any of the agendas, than any of the galactic foundations or federations, that a conscious thought made with intention and presence has no separation. And when you're in that vibrational resonance of truth, you can create utopias. You are so powerful because you are connected to the essence of who you are. Now, that is how we set ourselves free. And through that, many of the things that I teach in Mystery School and through the DAC process and other communities is how to use your mind to get out of separation, to use your mind to get into your body, to use your mind to transcend the illusion of this reality. So in that, there are some things that are happening in our current world events that happened through unconscious creation, through the mind that went into separation, the mind that consciously started creating from fear, the mind that consciously started creating from a level of helplessness, desperation, panic, worry. When the mind of the human being sits in one of these vibrational expressions, which is how the expressions of those that would like to keep us in forgetfulness hold power over us, is because they disrupt emotion. This vessel, most powerful technology in the entire galaxy. This vessel, if put into emotional overwhelm, is the most powerful tool to create destruction. So your vessel, when you get triggered and you're not able to hold your trigger, is creating anti-consciousness, suffering, pain, death on the planet. Now, I'm not saying that to create fear. I'm creating this opening for you to see the power of holding yourself. I'm not saying don't be fearful. I'm saying meet your fear. Lean into your fear. Love your fear. What is your fear really telling you? And through these different processes that are available, you can transform your fear into fearlessness, right? Into a level of unfuckable knowing that there is nothing outside of yourself that can take from you. There is nothing outside of yourself that can take from what you hold in remembrance. Now, because of this emotional disturbance and unconscious creation, we have some interesting unfoldings that are occurring on the planet and are occurring over the next, I have to be very careful, coming times. Over the next period of evolution, wow, okay, there will be a level of physical manifestation based on this unconscious thought. This unconscious thought, if we see things as fear, if we see things as depression, as suicidal thoughts, as hatred towards someone, revenge, all of these frequencies, if you imagine those things have created what we're about to witness, then you might be able to perceive or conceive some of the aspects of challenge that are going to physically show up in the world. If you can imagine the 1 and 2 dimensional. So the 1 and 2 dimensional are energies that are not supposed to exist in this reality. We are 3-dimensional reality. The hierarchy of consciousness means that only energies or consciousness that have evolved beyond a specific stage can move themselves down into a reality that would not be perceived as their current conscious waking state. So the hierarchy of consciousness means that as you evolve your expression, you can see the lower dimensions and you're like, yeah, I see that. I've done that. Oh, I can help there. I might be able to perceive some greater wisdom that might help this person. But those that come from a lower expression do not know what is up there. A lower dimensional reality does not understand a higher dimensional reality. They haven't evolved to that point of expression. So if you're getting frustrated with people not being able to see you, it's probably because you're at a higher evolved level of interpretation of reality and you're still hanging around or attracting those for whatever it is that is mirroring to you that cannot interpret or see you because they don't function from the same bandwidth of consciousness. So with that, 3-dimensional reality is a specific bandwidth of consciousness that only higher realms are supposed to exist in. That is not what has occurred. Now, there is cleanup based on this because it's infringement on universal law. Universal law states this. Trickery has occurred. Manipulations of technologies have occurred. The symbols, numbers, the mystical things that you see all over your social media, all over your mainstream media even now, is showing you where these infringements have occurred. This means that that infringement of universal law has to be reconciled. Now, there is going to be some pretty uncomfortable things happening to remove that consciousness from the earth. To remove that consciousness, there has to be a point of, if you see it as a cell, the way that I can explain it in the most censored way possible, is a cell holds, when a cell has energy that can no longer be held in its vibration, that cell either has to choose to die or evolve. So it will either expand and evolve and transform, or that cell will die. That is biology. Now, in that biological nature of the human species, you can understand the entire universe because your current reality cannot exist in the cell that it has been. It has to evolve and transform or die. So there is an awareness that those energies that have been here that are not in vibrational alignment of this reality have to choose evolvement or death, in a cellular truth of what we could call objective truth. This is just science. Nothing I do is mystical. It's magic, but it's understanding reality so that you can use reality to create magic. It's creating a life by design, by understanding the frameworks of consciousness and information through frequency and vibration, not magic. Well, it's fun to call it that. So with this, there is some specific dates that have been coming forth into our awareness. Now, I can't speak those dates here because apparently those dates are now even censored. And I will do absolutely everything within my power to be able to tell you what is happening, where you have to read between the lines, feel your own soul, trust your own guidance, receive your own intuition to know that there are certain paradigms in the next, say, Bariande, Shishka, and no Okuyande Anai, 16, 17, 18 days. So in that time frame, there is going to be some shifts that are going to manifest in the physical global stage. You're already seeing it. If you're witnessing and watching, and you're really observing the themes that are showing up, you'll start to see the exposure. Now, how this reality works is that we need to expose something for people to consciously choose. Conscious choice means that everything in your media, everything in those little T's and C's that no one reads, everything here is exposing you to the truth. And you are effectively giving up your sovereignty over and over again because of the brainwashing that has occurred in the not knowing of how to understand what is written, what is being shared, what is said between the lines. Now, because of that, there is some specific technologies and vibrational effects and influences that are taking place. Now, without me saying the sensitive words, I'm going to get you to imagine the ether or the sky. Father Sky. Let's imagine Father Sky for a moment. And Father Sky has had some contamination. Father Sky's clouds have been influenced in a way that holds no longer a purity of rainfall. And that impurity also not holds an effect to the natural weather system and the Earth's evolution and the cycle of how Mother Nature works. But there is also what you could consider particles of dark matter. Now, these dark matter particles that are moving through Father Sky have been inhaled, breathed in, and have contaminated Earth Mother. So Mother Earth, being that of physical matter, has been contaminated by what you could consider to be a pollutant. This pollutant has entered the waterways of Mother Earth. The waterways are now intoxication. So there is a toxicity that has occurred through Mother Earth's waterways. Now, this specific disturbance to the waters is creating a inability to function in purity. And this impurity means that what happens on the earth when our waters are contaminated? What happens to a human being when they can't drink water anymore? Dehydration. We can only live without water for a period of time. Without water, the body cannot function. The body eventually goes into what I would consider to be some form of cardiac arrest and die. So, in between the words, you're getting an interpretation of what I'm sharing, and I cannot speak any more depth into this. If it is something that you're like resonating, knowing, and wanting to understand more, you will require to feel into your truth about whether or not you want to join our Bring the New Earth tribe community, where I don't need to censor these words at 3322 on the viewers and the likes. That's cute. Because this level of information means also recognizing that you have the power to ensure that your waterways and that your mother, Pachamama, is purified, healed, and of vibrational alignment where these Father Sky energies cannot influence you. And that you can also assist others that are choosing from sovereign free will and choice. And it is very important to know this. It's very important to understand that sovereignty means that you are not the healer, that you are not the rescuer, that you are not the one to go in and be the warrior and go and take over. That every individual being now has to choose for themselves. If someone wants help, you need to wait and allow for them to ask. You need to be open to letting someone come to you, to being the embodiment of what you already have awareness of, to lining yourself up to those that are in support of what you're in support of, so that you can come together and be that for each other and open a reality for others to see, to hear, and to feel. So with this remembrance aspect is that you already remember. If you are one of the 144, if you are one of the bringers of change, then you are aware of what is unfolding because you saw it from the future. You saw it from the future. You understand from already the past unfoldings that have occurred over the last 3 to 4 years. Very key points of time in our global experience that show you some different things that have unfolded in preparation for what is happening. And you came here with your own soul's purpose, mission, and goal. And now is the time to remember. Now is the time for you to sit, to take that point of recognition, recognizing that there is a very real new earth and old earth paradigm that exists next to each other, literally. That before the 11/11 or the 14th, they were interlocked like this. That's how I can explain it. They were existing, they were coexisting. Now they are side by side. We have Mother Gaia, Sister Tara, New Earth, Old Earth energy. And what happens and what needs to happen is the separation point. So that we have very two separate realities, that there is no need to worry about me violating this reality by what I'm sharing. That there is no need for me to be afraid of who I'm talking to because everyone in my dimensional vortex is of the same vibrational experience. And there is a time that this separation is going to occur that is going to probably suck for most people. And that allowing yourself now, here in this moment, to use this portal, because all over the globe, people are using this portal. But it is what is called a thinning of the veil. It is a time that you get to go into this portal and remember something that could take you weeks, months, years to access. By claiming and asking for your remembrance, so that as you move through what is coming, that you can be more accepting, that you can meet your own challenges, your own pains, your own contrast as it does unfold, so that you can be compassionate to yourself and others, so that those that don't know what the fuck is going on, you can have an unconditionally loving heart. Rather than trying to wake them up, show kindness, because they are going to be confused. They are going to be afraid. They're going to need your support. So with that, my beautiful beings, if you would like more assistance in some of this, I would love to invite you to mine and Nick's and the New Earth community, Bring the New Earth Tribe. You'll find the links in the comments below, where we do weekly training sessions and we work on all of these paradigms in assistance and a collective contribution to ourselves and to the earth and to the collective. So it's always, if we're in service to self, and in the exact amount of energy that we are in service to other. It is not one before the other. It is unified in truth. So we give and receive, and we are creating for what we desire for ourselves. And we are giving that to the world. And if you are feeling the call to understand DAC process, and I would love to invite you to, if you haven't already, like, subscribe, and stay tuned to this channel. We will be doing a lot of demonstrations on how to heal and reconcile the psyche, how to transform your reality, how to bring yourself from things that have riddled your entire life and complete them through this process, where you will not have to revisit that wound or trauma again. And that our email list will have all of the trainings and information on different write-ups that might be resonant to your soul, tips and tools and different releases. So I would love for you to join us in our email list in case the World Wide Web does shut me down, that you'll have access to that is available, because who knows, if I disappear, that will be why. I love you, beautiful souls. Thank you for receiving this. Until next time. Ahava.